Morning, Paul.
Morning.
Right, today we're here with Paul Hay from Fish and Fritz, and Paul, what are you going to tell us about today?
Well, I'm going to show you this morning how we make our batter mix with our famous ingredient, and it should take us all of about 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay, so let's get started. What's the first part of the process?
Okay, what we need is an empty polythene bucket, preferably white, and we fill it with cold water.
How much water do you need? Do you need very much?
No, not really. Basically, the rule of thumb is I put my hand over the top there. So long as the water gets to the bottom of my fingers, it just means that we've got enough water in there ready to put our ingredients in.
Okay, and how many fish will this batter basically?
Oh, this will last, quantity-wise, I'm not really sure, but I get through roughly about 8 or 9 of these buckets per day. Okay, so we've got firstly our water there. We're adding now the self-raising flour.
Okay, self-raising flour.
Self-raising flour, that's right.
Is that the secret ingredient yet? Or?
Well, not really, no, it's just a standard sort of mix. We need the self-raising. We're adding approximately about 8 or 9 scoops, depending on the levels. But we want to make it a nice consistency. We're always adding to cold water and we're keeping it on the move all the time, so then obviously it doesn't congeal. So we never add to warm or hot water.
Okay. And what consistency are you trying to achieve?
Okay, we want it so it's like double cream basically, so it's just a nice running, not too thick, not too weak, just nice consistency. I'll show you that in a moment once I've finished the whisking.
Do you find it easier to do hand whisk, or would it be easier to do it in the machine?
It is. It's old methods, and you know, as I say, it's just the way we've always done things here. Modern technology is good, but this is just as good for this amount of time it takes. As I say, and you can actually get a feel for this batter as well. Okay, we're just about there.
Okay.
Just about there.
I bet you've done this a few times then, Paul?
Well, once or twice.
So how many buckets, you're a restaurant that's based in a seaside town, so how many buckets of batter mix would you get through in a day, do you think?
Right, as I said earlier, approximately about 8 to 9, depending on the time of the season. Obviously in the summertime we're getting through a few more. We do have to start first thing in the morning. I do have to let it rest for approximately 3 hours. And basically that's all to do with the brewing process. Normally about 3 hours worth there.
The brewing process, that sounds almost like it's a beer.
Well, not all that unlike, to be quite honest. As I say, I add a natural ingredient. It will be a natural ingredient.
Mm-hmm.
You know the filament slightly there, so we'll just take a little bit out. Okay, now that's just about there.
Okay.
Just about there. Now if you look at that, it's just about like a double cream. There's no lumps in there, or shouldn't be. It should be nice and smooth. Let that air get in there, get it all aerated.
Yeah. Let's have a look at that consistency again, because that's quite important. So anybody could make this at home, really?
Oh yes, yeah, anybody can make this, and probably the majority of the people in their kitchens, making pancakes, all that sort of stuff. Very similar sort of mix.
Yeah.
Similar.
I would imagine there's very few people actually made a batter mix at home, actually. Perhaps we ought to suggest it to Nigella, see if she can...
Yeah, Nigella Lawson, any of the big chefs there, I know they've got their own little ways of doing things. Now, what we do now...
Is that the secret ingredient?
This is part of it. This is the one. Don't need too much. The same again. This was handed down to me over the years. We're talking about 20 odd years ago. An elderly couple retired. They handed that down to me. Prior to that, there was a couple of elderly school teachers, a couple of ladies who used to come down on holiday, and in their spare time, in the holiday period, they used to make fish and chips. And basically, I think that's basically where it came from. Whether it was handed down to them or not, I don't really know. But we've kept it going. We don't let anybody know what happens, what the ingredients are. But basically, by adding 1 or 2 different pieces, adding a spoonful of that and a half to each bucket, that just helps that brewing process, and it's all natural ingredients. Nothing false, nothing modified, and that is it.
Wow, fantastic.
There we go.
So you're not going to reveal what the secret ingredient is
Not
today
at all.
to us?
No, not at all.
Oh,
As I say, that's
no.
been down to me, and until I finish in this sort of game in this industry, then that'll stay with me. And I'll probably pass it on to the next person who takes over. But there we go. So all we need to do now is date it, time it, put it in the fridge, and then we keep it cool then till we're ready to serve, roughly about lunchtime.
Fantastic. Well, thanks very much for that insight, Paul, and I'm sure a lot of people might be encouraged to have a go at making their own batter mix and finding their own secret ingredient perhaps.
That's it. It's all trial and error. Trial and error. Thank you.